Rock Out Hunger is a Western New York tradition come Thanksgiving time here in Buffalo. Dave Jickster from 97 Rock, Catherine Schick from Feedmore, Western New York, joined us today on Medically Speaking to talk a little bit more about it. Guys, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Really wonderful pleasure to be here.
So let's start with you, Jickster. Rock Out Hunger, a long-standing tradition. 97 Rock, a major community asset. Tell us a little bit more about the event.
Well, I think it's the 15th year. So 15 years ago, I was fairly new at 97 Rock, and they asked me if I wanted to stay in a truck. Our management asked me if I wanted to live in a truck for about a week until it was filled up. We wanted to do something as a station as a whole for the food bank, and I said sure. I learned so much. I met many of the staff members that put their heart and soul into their job. I met people that needed a food bank at one time, and I met people that never needed a food bank but always wanted to support it. And then even some homeless people came up looking for food. So it quickly became an educational experience for me about exactly what the food bank does and how it serves all of Western New York.
So Catherine, Jickster talks about the food bank. This is the third year that Kaleida Health has partnered up with what is now Feedmore Western New York. Tell us a little bit more about your evolution as an organization and then the new relationship with Kaleida Health.
Absolutely. So Feedmore Western New York, for people who may not be aware of it, is actually the merger of the Food Bank of Western New York and Meals on Wheels for Western New York. So our two hunger relief organizations had been collaborating together for decades, and we realized that by officially and formally coming together, we could, in fact, better serve our community, fill those gaps in the community where our service models weren't reaching those in need, and ultimately tackle root causes of hunger. So we came together in 2019, just last year, and we hit the ground running, and we really have been able to accomplish so much more than we ever could hope to achieve as two separate nonprofits. So Rock Out Hunger has actually been going on for quite some time. This is our 15th year. And as you mentioned, this is the third year that Kaleida Health has been a wonderful partner of our efforts. And really, it was just such a game changer when Kaleida Health came on board, not just in terms of the amazing support of Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, hosting the event there, the collection there all week long, but all of the Kaleida Health and related affiliates had been really right on board, actually holding pre-collection food drives for our organization. And those food drives have just boosted the number of donations that we have been able to give out to our struggling neighbors in need. So we're really fortunate to have Kaleida Health as the partner alongside 97 Rock and Channel 7 Eyewitness News to make this critical event possible for our community.
So Jickster, let's talk to you a little bit about that Kaleida Health relationship. And I know that was born with the relationship you had with our outgoing CEO, Jody LeMayo. And tell us a story about how this came about. I know he came to you and said he wanted to do something with Rock Out Hunger. And tell us how you've kind of spread this across Western New York and how you've done some of those live remotes at some of our locations.
Yeah, it was probably, if I look back on it now, it was probably one of the highlighted meetings of my career when Jody came to the station and he sat down with myself and some people that are affiliated with the station and said that we want to be a part of Rock Out Hunger. Kaleida wants to be a part of Rock Out Hunger. We strive on getting our employees involved in the community, and this is something we want to be a part of. And then we decided to switch our location to Millard Fillmore Suburban. And then you guys started to do food drives at all of your locations. And I would actually go and broadcast a month leading up to Rock Out Hunger. And I could not believe how the Kaleida staff got involved in the enthusiasm of your entire organization. It was just an incredible partnership, and we're looking forward to continue to have that grow. It was amazing because I don't think you had to really jumpstart them at all either. They were so thrilled to be a part of such a great event and a great cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Catherine, so the food's collected at places like Millard Suburban. They truck it away. When that event is done and over with and Jickster actually can go home and sleep in his own bed, tell us what Feedmore does from there and how all that is collected, how that spreads across the community.
Yeah. So, as the week-long food and fun drive is going on at Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, we are taking some of those proceeds actually right back to our warehouse. We have a warehouse at 91 Holt Street. And from there, during that week, and then, of course, after the culmination of the event, right before Thanksgiving, we are taking those meals and we are distributing them to families, to individuals throughout our 4-county service area. So Feedmore Western New York is serving Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, and Niagara counties in addition to Erie County. And there are so many families in our community who are really relying on our support, especially during the holiday season as well as throughout the year. So we're making sure those donations are getting into the hands and the homes of those in need, so they can have a really nice holiday season and help them into the new year.
Tell us a little bit about the total collection from last year. What was last year's totals like?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right here. It was completely astounding. We actually collected over 32,000 pounds of food from that 1 week of a drive. And Michael, over 12,000 of that came from Kaleida Health. So absolutely incredible. And I think that's, when, Jickster is talking about the depth of the support that your organization and your incredible team gets behind. It's just amazing what the community can do and what the Kaleida Health family can do to help support us. We actually also collected nearly 2,400 turkeys to help make sure that we're getting nice holiday meals out to families in need, and over $37,000 last year. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. And of course, with the pandemic, we know that the need is now more than ever in Western New York. And of course, that is not any different throughout the nation. But here in Western New York, there are a lot of people who are in need. So we really do need the community to come out once again and help us rock out hunger.
Yeah, so let me ask Jickster about that. I mean, I know the community is dealing with the whole COVID-19 situation, but you have been undeterred, Dave, about wanting to get this event in and done and make sure that this is something that the community can still do. Obviously, there's precautions we have to take, but tell us about your drive to make sure this thing gets in.
Well, Mike, it's simple, and to me, it's simple, and I think to you and to anybody else, this pandemic is awful, and people are dying, and people are out of work. Businesses are closed down, still closed down, and the ones that are open are struggling. The food bank has never, I can honestly say this, the food bank has never needed this food drive more than it needs this year. There are people out there that their businesses are thriving because of COVID-19, and there's people that are doing better. Those are the people that we're really going to need to step up this year, and hopefully that they can just give a little bit extra than they've given years past. So we really need to have a successful food drive, cash donations, food donations, and even as important, awareness about what the food bank does and how many people the food bank are going to be feeding during this pandemic. The numbers are crazy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Catherine, I know the event's hosted at Millard Suburban. It's driven by 97 Rock. The benefit is for Feedmore, but it's really a community-wide event. How can people take part? How can they jump in and volunteer and donate? What do people have to do?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to get involved. Of course, you can stop out through our Rock Out Hunger Week. It's going to be going on at Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital from November 17th through November 24th. So the community can come out and make a donation. We will be accepting donations of food, perishable and non-perishable, including those turkeys that we really come to rely on through this amazing drive, as well as funds. So we have really made it possible to hold what we're calling a contactless food drive. It's something we've really gotten down to a science here at Feedmore, and we've had to do so because of the pandemic. So people can pull up and not even have to leave their vehicles. Our volunteers will come, you pop your trunk or roll down your window, and we can take those donations from you without you really having to have contact with anyone, very minimal contact. We're going to enact a lot of safety procedures and best practices that we have been following here since the start of the pandemic, including having our volunteers wear masks, having everyone social distance. It's an outdoor event, which is always a plus. So you can come out and make that safe donation, but if you feel more comfortable, you can't get out, or it's just not for you, you can always go online. And we also have a really easy way to give online at Feedmore WNY.org. And then, of course, we do need the help in terms of volunteers, not just for this event, especially for this event, but, throughout the year and throughout the holiday season and beyond. So again, by visiting our website, feedmorewny.org, or give us a call at 716-822-2002. We can, of course, connect you with a volunteer opportunity, or connect you with some of the many ways you can give back to us and help us feed those in need.
That's great. Jickster, as we wrap up here, any final shout outs or reminders that you or the Mighty 97 Rock need to give out here?
Well, I really need to thank our media sponsor, which is Channel 7 WKBW TV. They've done a wonderful job helping spread awareness about what Feedmore Western New York does, and they're there every day covering the food drive. So a shout out to them, and we couldn't do it without them. And a shout out to all the volunteers. If you've never volunteered in the past and you have a little extra time the week before Thanksgiving, get a hold of Feedmore Western New York, because we could use your help. If it's not for Rock Out Hunger, they have a million things that Catherine just said that you could do. But other than that, I certainly want to thank Kaleida for their support with this thing, and we're looking forward to. It's going to be a little bit different this year, but we really need to make some progress. And there's not a doubt in my mind that we won't be able to do it, especially with Kaleida on board.
Well, as they say, the need is more than ever. November 17th from 24th, Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, Rock Out Hunger. Catherine Schick, Feedmore, Western New York, Dave Jickster, 97 Rock. Thanks for joining us today on Medically Speaking.
Pleasure.
Thank you.